Hi, how are you doing? My name is Roger Gitonga, and I will be taking you through chapter 17, performance appraisal. Now, this really happens quite a lot in jobs, and I remember manager telling me how they were so keen on listening to this audio because they really want to understand or to know how they can better be more efficient in how they appraise people. So we're going to try and understand what this appraisal basically means and how effective you can be in appraising people if you're a manager, or even if you're the one being appraised as a junior. You'd also know how the process should go, what would stop it from being so effective, and many other things. So join me. Now, as we introduce it, the first thing I want us to look at is that it is a process to establish a shared understanding about what is to be achieved and an approach to managing and developing people in order to achieve it. So this is what appraisal basically means. First and foremost, people are able to know or understand what should be achieved, what is the goal, what is the target, and at the same time, you also want to see where have they achieved it or not, and if not, why not, and what can we change about it, what should we do about it, and if they've achieved it, what promotion can we give them, what bonus can we give them, how can we reward them, how can we develop them, stuff like that. Now, performance measures. When you set measures for people, the performance measures should be, first and foremost, job related. Do not give job measures or performance measures that are not related to the job, because that means that you will direct the person or the junior or the subordinate to the wrong direction of not achieving the objectives of the organization. Two, they should be able to be controlled by the person, individual, or team. Give a measure that is, possible. Don't give impossible measures, things that, because if you give things that can't be controlled by someone or cannot be done by someone, they get frustrated, they get demotivated, they feel like they don't belong, they feel like they're not worth it. It can be very discouraging. Three, they should be able to be observed, measured, and objective. Now, the observe means that I can see what you're doing. I can see your efforts. I can see that you're achieving your targets. And at the same time, measured means that I should set a target that can be quantifiable. Don't just say increase the sales growth. Say increase the sales growth by 5%. Now, that is a measurable measurement, okay, performance measurement. At the same time, let it be objective. It means let it be fair. Let it be one that is fair to the person, okay. Now, purpose of performance appraisals. One purpose is that it gives the employee a clear understanding of what they should achieve. It gives them purpose as well, to know what they should ideally achieve. Two, identifying the individual's training and development needs in light of actual performance. I know for a fact that after appraising, especially if I feel like you lack something as a manager, then I would advise you maybe to partake ACCA to sharpen your skills in accounting and finance, So it helps you to train and develop the person's needs. Now, identifying potential candidates for promotion. Now, I mentioned this in the beginning, and there are people, once you have set for them a target and they actually go past the target, they actually, amaze you, then you could call them up for promotion, call them up for a bonus, call them up for a reward, because you'll be so satisfied, you'll be happy as a boss, as a manager, that this person has gone, not just been able to achieve the target, but has gone beyond that, and that is truly amazing. The next purpose is that you're able to identify areas that the person can improve on. Then we have here types of appraisal. The first one is self-appraisal. Now, this occurs when individuals carry out their own self-evaluation as a major input into the appraisal process. We have upward appraisal, where the subordinates rate or appraise their superiors. We have the customer appraisal, and just for the name, you realize that this occurs when feedback is collected from customers by the company. And we have the 360 degrees, okay, all-round appraisal, Now, this is where an individual's performance is assessed through feedback of, first and foremost, the person's immediate manager. 2, the people who report to the appraisee. 3, the peers and the co-workers, the people that work with the appraisee. 4, the customers. And 5, the person himself or herself through self-evaluation. Now, Mai came up with 3 approaches, okay, to appraisal. He came up with the tell and sell style. Now, here the manager tells the subordinates how they have been assessed and then tries to sell or gain acceptance of the evaluation and improvement plan. So I'll tell you, you are not too good last year. And then I'll tell you why you're not too good last year. And I'll sell that idea to you to the point where you'll actually agree with me and say, yes, I need to pull up my socks. Then 2, there's a tell and listen style. Now here the manager will tell the subordinate first how they have been assessed, and then we'll wait to listen. They'll invite response and tell them, what do you think about that? And you'll take time to listen to what the appraisee has to say. 3, there's a problem solving style. Now this is the best one because the manager abandons the role of critic altogether and then becomes a coach and a helper. Now, the discussion is centered on the employee's work problems, and this approach encourages intrinsic motivation, okay? Motivation that comes from within. So you just want to now develop the person. You want to help the person to become a better person at what they do, okay? So that's the problem-solving style. Now, barriers to effective appraisal. We're going to look at around 3. Now, appraisal as confrontation. Now, this is when you use them as a sort of showdown or a clearing of the air. And in this kind of climate, the feedback may be subjective or exaggerated. You want to confront the person. You've been waiting to talk about something with this person and try to pull them down. So you clear the air, and this really stops effective appraisal from happening. As you can see in that picture, she's just shouting at the person, The next one, appraisal as chats. Now, many managers are embarrassed to give feedback and set stretching targets, which reduce the appraisal to a few mumbled "well done" and leave the interview having sorted any issue. So here you realize you don't really want to be too hard on the person. You want to be friendly. You want to please the person maybe. So you just like, oh wow, yeah, man. And before you know it, you even forget what you guys are talking about. You might even go down to talking about politics or sports or whatever it may be. And then in the end, you'll be like, well done, you did well, congratulations. and the appraisal is over. You've not really achieved anything because remember, an appraisal is there to grow the person. Mumbling well done's and congratulations and not really giving a way of how to maybe grow this person is a barrier to effective appraisal. 3 is appraisal as bureaucracy. As we talk about the word bureaucracy, we're talking about rules that you have to continuously follow. So what we look at here, just filling in the form to please the personnel department tends to ignore the main purpose of improving the person and organization. Now here you find that it's just a routine that it's something you have to do. The rules have stated that as a manager you have to appraise your subordinates or your juniors. So you just do it for the sake, just to make them happy, just to satisfy the rules, and this can really stop effective appraisal from happening. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that if you're going through appraisal or you're appraising someone, that you'll be fair and just in it, and at the same time you'll pick a few tips from my video. Thank you so much.